We all know that Dio is a powerful stand user. His stand world has massive stats, with top scores in every stat besides range. The world can casually punch holes through people, and keep up blow for blow with Star Platinum, who has showcased feats approaching light speed potential. Its signature ability is Time Stop, allowing Dio to stop time for 5 seconds. He can do anything within stop time, and no one has any way to stop it. 5 seconds isn't even the upper limit, and it's shown itself to increase to 9 seconds, with no upper limit to how far it can go. However, despite these impressive feats, the world isn't exactly the greatest stand like Dio claims. Not only is it the same type of stand like Star Platinum, but there exist stands that would give it a run for its money. However, what if Dio did achieve the ultimate stand? What if he had a stand so powerful that it can only really exist outside of canon, a stand that bypasses all the limitations of his previous version? That's where the world over heaven stands.
The world over heaven!
In Jojo, there exists a variety of alternate universes. Some are extremely similar to each other, but others have minor differences that change the course of that timeline. Within the universe established in Jojo's Eyes of Heaven, exists a Dio who defeated Jotaro in their final encounter, after which he continues to evolve his stand. Now there are many ways to evolve a stand in Jojo. One involves piercing your stand with a stand arrow, unlock its full potential, and giving it Requiem status. Another is collecting every part of the Saint's corpse, which eventually grants the stand a new ability. The Heaven Plan is Dio's way of evolving a stand. The Heaven Plan is long and complicated, but it essentially revolves around Dio giving birth to a green baby. Once the baby is born, it would combine with his stand, eventually creating the world over heaven, after going to a specific location at a certain period in time. This is how Pucci was able to evolve his stand White Snake into Sea Moon, and eventually Made in Heaven, which could accelerate time. After achieving the world over heaven, Dio becomes much more powerful than he ever could have dreamed. The most basic ability is Time Stop. We all know the world can stop time, but it's always been restricted by a time limit, allowing people to sometimes work around it. However, with the world over heaven, Dio can stop time for an infinite amount of time. No matter what kind of plans anyone would come up with, they would have no way of getting past infinite time stop, making them defenseless. The time stop itself isn't any different. Dio can still interact with objects, and is the only one who can move within time stop. Dio just has even more opportunities to wipe out all of his opposition. Only stands that can temporarily move in time stop, like Star Platinum, have any hope of standing up to Dio. Even Made in Heaven's ability to shorten time stop would be completely useless in this situation. What truly makes the world over heaven a huge threat is his ability to overwrite reality, basically giving him a form of reality alteration. Anyone Dio punches with his fists are vulnerable to this ability. He could make it so you were never born, or change your fate to an extent where you never even got your stand in the first place. If he somehow damaged him, he could rewrite reality and make it so you never damaged him in the first place. Objects can also be manifested from nothing, as if they came out of thin air. Just like Crazy Diamond and Gold experience, he could probably turn inanimate objects into living things by touching them, or reverting objects to a previous state in their history. He could probably do it the other way around too. A homeless man can become the next Elon Musk. A PS4 can become an Xbox. This ability is pretty much limitless in what it can do. A stand user would have to be careful fighting the world over heaven, as any wrong moves can mean being written out of reality. Dio can steal the souls of those he's fighting with a single punch, and even resurrect the dead with their knowledge, skills, and stands still intact. They will follow Dio's every order. A stand user already has a tough time with Dio. Imagine having to fight dozens of powerful stand users. Dio can also mimic the abilities of D4C, being able to jump to whatever dimension or world he chooses. The abilities of the enemy stand users are irrelevant, as the world over heaven can undo them. Tuskak 4's ability to force anyone into an infinite rotation spin is formidable and is meant to be unstoppable. However, the world over heaven not only caught it casually, but also undid the effects of the infinite rotation on Valentine by rewriting his reality. Gold Experience Requiem's ability to return anything to zero was also pointless, as the world over heaven was simply unaffected by it. If the world over heaven is this powerful, then you could imagine no stand in the series being able to stop it. Love Train's Light, which is meant to redirect any misfortune, would simply be undone with a single touch. Heaven's Door's rewrites would be rewritten again. Byst's Dust's ability to instantly explode people would be written out of reality. Wonder Review's Calamity would never be able to affect them, as that would be rewritten too. The world over heaven can likely mimic a lot of stand abilities too, such as Bohemian Rhapsody. It's worth noting, however, that Dio's hands need to make contact with an object to overwrite their reality, similar to Gold Experience and Crazy Diamond. but the world over heaven still possessed the massive strength, speed, and perception of Star Platinum, which again approaches light speed, so that wouldn't be much of a problem. When you think about it, the world over heaven is pretty much the Requiem version of Heaven's Door. They can both rewrite things, have heaven in their name, and even have the same color scheme. The world over heaven can create dimensions and cast powerful lightning bolts that heavily damage opponents. Despite everything I've said, the world over heaven still needs to make contact with you to overwrite reality. It's not like Wonder of You, who can cause calamity without moving, GR who can return anything to zero, or Green Baby who shrinks anything that comes near it. One can avoid Dio's attacks to avoid the reality rewriting. Breaking Dio's arm in any way also halts the ability, as he won't be able to overwrite anything. Dio also isn't invincible either, he can still be damaged or temporarily incapacitated. The world over heaven can be considered the most powerful stand by some. It's no wonder it wasn't brought into canon.
アリーベ・デルチ